Let us take our seats. Let's try and, our friends that are outside the room, let's come inside the room. Let us find our way to our seats. This has been a long enough week, I think you can agree. And we're ready for this week to come to an end and for our Shabbat to begin.
That's good. I'm proud to be here.
Oh my God. How did I do this? We're not doing L'chadodi. I didn't put L'chadodi.
You didn't put a lechad. I know. I thought.
It's not on the cue sheet.
Well, do you want to? You want to stick one in? Okay.
We'll do it this way.
Okay. I know. I was like, oh, this is.
It didn't even stick out to me. It's Shalom Aleichem instead. I thought that's okay. Well, welcome everyone. Shabbat Shalom. It's so nice to be with all of you.
Shabbat
This
Shalom.
for our social action Shabbat for Parashat Vayikra. We're honored to have with us tonight Lisa Kane, the Executive Director of Doorstep, who will be speaking to us later about Doorstep's activities in the community, as well as we'll have many readings from members of the Social Action Committee regarding the subject of justice and action in our communities. We'll begin our service this evening on page 128 with Ma Yafeh Hayom, how lovely it is this day, Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom, Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom.
Indeed, and now it's time to welcome Shabbat by lighting our candles. And it's my honor to invite Stephanie Shatera, who is also our cantorial soloist this evening, but in addition to that, an active member of our Social Action Committee, to do the candle blessings this evening. You can find our reading before the candles on page 121 and the blessing itself on page 120.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat.
Amen. And now for a reading for Kabbalat Shabbat, it's my honor to invite up Dennis Dobson, the head of our Social Action Committee.
As we welcome Shabbat, we reflect on the peace and justice we seek in our world. Justice Shabbat is a time of rest and renewal. It reminds us of our commitment to creating a just society where we care for our neighbors and ensure all can find peace.
continue with a song of Kabbalat Shabbat. For this, we'll turn all the way back to the back of our books, to page 648, for the words in both Hebrew and English of Shir Chadash.
Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash. Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
We turn back to page 142 for Shalom Aleichem. So we seek to be accompanied by the very angels singing this song. Please join me if you know it. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And as we turn the page, we also turn the page on the entire week that was, as we enter Shabbat in our evening service on page 144 with Chatzi Kaddish. And yes, okay. Please join in responsively where appropriate. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'galha u'v'zman kariv, Veimeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'alam u'lamei Halmaya, Yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitormam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, shemei d'kudesha richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shihirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amihiram be'alma, ve'imeru, amen. As we rise for the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer, let us also rise to the call for justice. Standing together, we affirm not only our responsibility to our faith, but to act, ensuring that our community stands firmly for what is right. Please rise on page 146 for the Baruch Hu. Please be seated. We continue on page 148 with our prayer for the evening, Ma'ariv Aravim, first in Hebrew and then in English. We'll recite the Chatimah, or the last line of the blessing, only in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, ובתבונה משנה עיתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. And for our reading for Ahavat Olam, it's my pleasure to invite up Deborah Edelman-Dolan. Another member of our Social Action Committee.
In Ahavat Olam, we express gratitude for God's everlasting love. May this divine love, shown by God to all the people of the earth, inspire us to pursue justice, showing compassion and kindness to all, as we strive to reflect divine love in our world.
Continue on page 152 with the Shema and then the V'ahavta, and I invite you to please rise for the watchword of our faith.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Ba'ed.
We continue on the next page with V'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בהם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, ושרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Please be seated. For our reading from Michamocha, it's my honor to invite up Susan Zuber-Chaw, another member of our Social Action Committee, and who led the service so beautifully last week.
As we sing Michamocha, celebrating redemption, let us remind us of our ongoing struggle for freedom and justice. Just as our ancestors were delivered from bondage, we are called to work towards a world where we can all experience liberation and peace. This mission is reflected in the work of Doorstep Incorporated, right here in Topeka, providing us aid and support to those in need. Together, we strive for a community of compassion and justice.
And we will sing our prayer Michamocha that, as Susan mentioned, talks about our ongoing struggle for redemption. You can find Michamocha on page 158. I invite you to please join us. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot oseh feleh, Nora tehilot oseh feleh, Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, Bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zeh Elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch, Adonai yimloch, le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar, ki fadad Adonai et Yaakov, u'galo miyad hazach mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Amen. On page 160, we offer our prayer Hashkivenu in its English translation, followed by the Chatima in Hebrew. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And we say, Amen. We're going to continue now, moving into our Amidah on page 164. I invite you to please rise as we will continue in the Amidah through page 180. Adonai sifatai tiftach uvi agit tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Anora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Geula, Livnei V'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol, Atah Rav LaHoshia, Mashiva Ruach U'Morid Hagashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom ya'alelu chasecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please continue your Amidah silently from this point to page 180, either with the words on the page or the meditations of your own hearts, and please be seated when you have finished your Amidah.
Ase shalom bimromav. Huya ase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav. Huya ase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Imeru amen. Ve'imeru amen.
This time we turn our thoughts to those who are in need of healing, be it physical, spiritual, or emotional healing. In our own community, we're thinking of Doris Alexander, Shirley Bauer, Isaac Dodson, Seth Gallitzer, Norman Garfield, Laura Helrich, Brady Heights, Paul Hinkle, Rika Mattingly, Vivian Parker, Lupe Perez, Kelly Perkins, Marie Ruby, Dr. Arnold Schneider, Stephen Paula Shatera, Howard Schwartz, Joe Scraper, Ted Stempfel, Matthew Walker, and Jeffrey Wilmot. If at this time you are thinking of someone in need of healing and would like to join your prayers with the synagogues, I invite you to share their name aloud as my eyes meet yours, or if you're joining us on Zoom, to please put their names in the chat.
Did we say Darcel? Darcel.
We turn to page 371, thinking of all those whose names were mentioned out loud and all those whose we keep in our hearts, wishing them healing full and complete and speedy in our Misha Berach, chanted at the top of the page in the traditional wording by me and sung by all of us in the middle of the page. Misha Berach Avotenu Vimotenu Avraham Yitzchak VeYaakov Sarivka Rachel v'Leah Yivarechet Hakolim Shelanu HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem Lahachlimam Urapotam Ulechachazikam Vishlach Lehem Mehera Refuah Shlema Min Hashamayim Refuat HaNefesh Urefuat HaGuf Hashtabar Alav Izmahan Kariv V'nomar Amen.
Misheberach avotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Amen. We wish all of them a refuah shlema. And now it's time for me to introduce our guest speaker for this evening and this Social Action Shabbat. Lisa Kane has been with Doorstep for over 30 years, working as the administrative assistant, social worker, associate director, and most recently and now, the executive director. She has been in this position nearly 22 years. As the director, she works to increase funding through grant writing, oversees services, reports to grantors, works on fundraisers, and more. Lisa is a graduate of Washburn University with a degree in social work. She is married and the mother of 4 coonhounds, 1 cat, and chickens. We're honored to welcome Lisa Kane to the Bema. Thank you, Lisa. We would clap, but we don't generally clap during Shabbat services.
That's okay. I don't always get claps every time I come up here.
We would.
Well, thank you for having me. I've been here many times. This service goes really fast. Well, for those of you who don't know, Doorstep began in 1966 with 6 churches located in central Topeka who wanted to help the people in their own neighborhoods on their own doorsteps, hence our name. Today, we have grown to have the support of 55 mission member faith communities. We have recently updated our terminology, and I'm still learning it. They all come together to support Doorstep and the people that we help, our events. They bring monetary donations, food, clothing, volunteers participate in our events. They have board members and coordinators, and we all work together to help our neighbors who are in need. People tend to think of Doorstep as just a food and clothing bank, but there are many more resources in Topeka, and there are many more services that we provide. First, there are only 2 clothing banks in Topeka, us and Let's Help. So we stay pretty busy between us. People can come every 3 weeks. They can shop for their whole family, and the inventory is always coming in and going out. Our donation room was so full a week ago, we couldn't open the door because an avalanche came down. So the people are definitely supporting us and bringing their stuff to us, which is great. The real work at Doorstep is also, though, in our emergency services. We offer families and individuals who are living in poverty or experiencing a crisis in their life help with rent and utility assistance to prevent homelessness or disconnection of service, or to place a family into a new home or restore services. There are basic needs. There's never enough money to fulfill all of these requests. Even during COVID, with all the extra money, there was not enough to meet the need. We do our best to make sure when we are working with a family and individual, we talk to them about their situation, their income, what other services they might be using, because we want to be the best stewards we can of the funds that we receive. And if we're going to pay a month's rent, our goal is to see reasonably that they will be able to pick up the payments the next month, or the utilities, or whatever it might be. We aren't looking to just throw money at the problem, but help them get through. Excuse me, my throat's dry. Doorstep also helps with prescriptions and dental vouchers. The Marion Clinic, which is now Always Health, and Grace Med Capital Clinic, we use those 2 dental clinics, and we can do extractions and occasionally some other services. And then we also have local transportation in the form of gas vouchers and Topeka Metro bus tickets, where we are helping people to get to and from work or to medical appointments. During the intake interview process, a staff member will go over the income and expenses of our clients. We will refer them to services and programs that may help decrease their expenses, increase their income, or add another service and value to their household that they did not have before. Our goal is to help them become more self-sufficient and not need our services as much. Currently, we have 5 staff members, 4 of us that run the office, and our faith community coordinator, who is 30 hours a month. With all of the work that we accomplish, all the services that we do, we couldn't do it without our volunteers. They are the lifeblood of Doorstep. We are a small staff. We do many things, but we have about 60 regular volunteers that are there every week, helping in the food room, the clothing room, the front desk. They're working in the sort room. They pick up stuff from Dollar General and the restaurants and pick up bread. They're willing to do whatever we need because they believe in what we do and they believe in helping their neighbors. Last year, a group of 20 of us, staff, board members, and volunteers, held retreats to work with a company to create our new strategic plan that starts this year and runs through 2029. We updated our mission statement, created core values and a DEI statement, and we really looked at where Doorstep should go. Our goal was not necessarily to make Doorstep bigger, but to make us better. So in doing that, we are looking at adding another staff person. Thank you. And hopefully an intern. But then that leads to, where do we put them? If you've been to Doorstep, we take up pretty much all of the room. So we are looking at how can we knock down some walls? How do we make the flow better? How do we, as far as donations, as far as everything? We want to stay where we're at, where we've always been, and where we are needed most. So maybe we'll add on a story. Who knows? But if we do, I get a window. Oh, excuse me. The need for food these past 2 years has increased dramatically. We haven't seen numbers like these in 10 or 15 years. Our budget from 22 to 24 increased 1,100%. Purchasing food to keep on our shelves so that we could feed the people who were coming to us. And our numbers of food orders that went out the door increased 240%. And that's just food. We have been blessed many times over during the pandemic and after, as far as donations coming in, family foundations, grants. Just our income is quite varied, and it has allowed us to really help people in need in the best way that we can. Because we're small and we're local, we are able to say yes a little bit more often than maybe another agency might for an odd request. And I love that about my job, because I'm the one that says yes. But thank you so much. Oh, thank you. But we're able to, a couple times last year, we paid somebody's storage bill, so they didn't lose everything they owned. We've started doing phone bills. We started buying hygiene products. So we were able to get some of the city ARPA money, the $10 million that the city of Topeka got for 2023 and 24. And with that money, the intent was to do some things that we don't normally do. So we opened up our auto services, which is doing car repairs, car payments, insurance, registration. We currently have a grant that helps single parents with that. We opened it up so that it could be a single person, a two-parent family, whatever it might be who is experiencing the need. It's a one-time only. But we are able to use those when somebody is truly in a bad spot, truly experiencing an emergency and a crisis in their lives, and we can perhaps do their rent and their utilities and their car payment and food and really get them back up out of that hole. Because 1 month without a paycheck, it is very, very hard to climb out of that hole. And that's just 1 month, because you have to wait to get your next paycheck. So in situations like that, we feel great in having those extra funds, but what we learned, because that money's gone, is that this needs to be another regular service. So this year, we put line items in our budget to purchase hygiene items, to fill our hygiene kits. Before, it was whatever was donated was pretty much the hygiene kits that we could give out. And we increased that by like 60%, being able to purchase. Because again, you can't use your SNAP dollars for hygiene. If you're barely making it and you can't afford food, you can't afford your hygiene. So hygiene kits were going out the door. It was almost 1,300 kits that we gave out last year alone. So that is now a line item, along with the phone bills that we provide assistance for. So people have to be working. We want them to be able to keep in touch with their employer. For the auto services, they do have to be working. So we are trying to help people in the best way possible at the time that we see them. We're looking at them where they are at the time they come into our office. How can we help them? How can we bring them, give them a hand up and get them out of their hole and give them some hope going forward? There are some people that we might see once or twice, and there are some people who are on disability, maybe working a low-paying job, that they're going to need us more often. They're going to need our clothing bank on a regular basis. They're going to need food on a regular basis. And so we are there for all of them in whatever capacity that they might need. That's why we are there. So Doorstep is celebrating our 60th anniversary next June. So at our walk this year will be our kickoff to our 60th. And so we have a committee. We're working on ways to celebrate this year going into our 60th anniversary. We've even got a logo created. It's pretty cool. I'm very excited. And then the walk next year, so you can really plan ahead. In June of next year, we'll have our walk, but we're also going to have like a much bigger event to really celebrate our 60th anniversary. So, some of this I said. If I don't write it down, I'll just go off the rails, so I'm sorry. In 2024, and stop me if I've gone too long. No, okay. In 2024, Doorstep provided 10,663 units of service. That's a clothing room visit, a food order, a rent payment, a prescription bought. And we provided that to 25,167 individuals. Assistance in the form of food and clothing and household items are always available. What we might have inventory-wise might change, might be lacking in, we're often lacking in men's clothing. I see a lot of men out here. I know you don't buy clothing as often as women do, but you know, maybe it's time to trade something out and donate some. Your shoes, your socks, your jeans, we need them. We also help people with rent, utilities, gas lights, water, prescription, dental and gas vouchers, Topeka Metro, bus tickets, the auto services, phone bills, daycare payments, and referrals to other services that might further them in becoming more self-sufficient or make their budget stretch farther. And then also we adopt families at Christmas time. Last year, we spent over $388,000 on all of those services. Except for we don't buy clothing, sorry. And we provided nearly 168,000 pounds of food and $179,000 worth of clothing and household items. And that's all through donation, the clothing and the household items. All the stuff that comes in, we're turning it around and getting it out. Oh, excuse me. So as I came in, we were talking about the special events, and there's handouts out there, and I had to update everything before I came. So I forgot our calendar of events, and I forgot to bring some of our flyers. At the end of this month, though, we do have our appreciation banquet, April 29th at St. John's Lutheran Church. And at the same time, we have a quilt drawing. And I'm sure Marcia has tickets if you want to buy chances. You can also get them online this year. Anybody is welcome to come to our banquet. We just ask that you RSVP so we have enough seating and food. It's really a celebration of Doorstep, our banquet. We will have somebody speaking about Sleep in Heavenly Peace, Topeka. We'll have some entertainment, a musical group from St. John's Lutheran. We give out volunteer awards, and we do the quilt drawing at the end. And then on Saturday, June 7th, we have moved our walk from October to June, and our golf tournament from June to October. We're hoping to miss the higher traffic times for those events. So on Saturday, June 7th is our 8th annual Neighbor Helping Neighbor Walk and 5K Run at Lake Shawnee. Starts at 9, so you can come out, get that done, have some breakfast, and carry on with your day, and hopefully it's a beautiful day. So all of that is on our website. I know Marcia got all that information yesterday. So please come out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Chazak u'baruch. Lisa, may you be strengthened and blessed. No, you're okay. You can take. I can speak to you from there. I can speak to you from your seat. It's a little awkward because you're still walking there, but it's not that big a room, so don't worry about it. You're wonderful. Yes. May you be strengthened and blessed in the work you're doing for our community. It is holy work that Doorstep is engaged in, and we are honored to give this month and many months of our year our tzedakah donations to Doorstep so that they can continue to do wonderful work in our community. A reminder, the tzedakah box is in the foyer, and that money is going to Doorstep this month. So, with that, I will now call up to do our announcements, Dr. Alan Kasoy. So, please join us.
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of our Board of Directors, I want to extend a warm welcome to our guests and members, and a special welcome and thank you to Lisa Kane for a delightful little speech. On this Shabbat, we extend our thanks to Melissa Hoshalder for ushering, Jane Green for opening the building, Doug Myers for hosting the streaming equipment, Stephanie Shatira for leading the candles and closing the building, David Shaw for leading the Kiddush, Social Action Committee for hosting the Oneg, Stephanie Shatira for leading our music, Hurst Kaufman for accompanying, and Rabbi Stern for leading our Shabbat service. On Friday, April 11th, please join us for our Friday Torah Shabbat service. Rabbi Stern will be leading the service. Stephanie Shatira will lead the music, and Hurst Kaufman will also accompany. Temple members will help with this service. Don't forget our largest fundraiser this Sunday, April 6th, is the Blinch Brunch, in case nobody had any idea about that. Please purchase tickets and sign up to volunteer. On April 27th at Temple Beth Shalom, Dr. Lindsay McNeil, the speaker for the State of Kansas Holocaust Commemoration, will speak to our members and a reception will follow. The State of Kansas Holocaust Commemoration will be April 28th. For other upcoming events, please check tonight's handout, the online event calendar, the monthly bulletin, or weekly email. Tonight's tzedakah will go to Interfaith of Topeka. The tzedakah box is in the foyer. Again, Shabbat Shalom.
We now turn to the concluding part of our service this evening, beginning with Aleinu L'Shabeach on page 586 at the bottom, and I invite you to please rise. Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol Lateit Gedula Liyotzeh Breshit Shelo Asanu Kigoye Haratzot Velo Samanu Kemishpechot Adama Shelo Sam Chelkeinu Kahem Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam Va'anachnu Korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. On 588, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ Bayom ha'u yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. Please be seated. We think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. In our own community, we mark the recent death of James Goodman. And we also mark the yahrzeit, the anniversaries of the passing of Lauren Kellogg, David Feldman, Al Gartner, Josephine Hyman, Anna Heitzman, Edna Leitz, William Leitz, Paul Shatera, Herman Kleiner, Esther Spector, and Rebecca Kemp-Tigerman. This time, if you are recalling either a recent death, you're in a period of mourning, or you're recalling a yahrzeit, the anniversary of someone's passing, I invite you to share their names with the community when my eyes meet yours, or if you're joining us on Zoom, to please put their names in the chat. We turn to page 598 to offer the words of our tradition for the mourner's Kaddish, the Kaddish Yatom. And if it is your custom or you're in a period of mourning, I invite you to please rise on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel and all who dwell on the earth, to which we say, Amen. Zikronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Please be seated. Let's do the closing song and then we'll do the Kiddush, so we can go we'll go to Oneg after that. Our closing song this evening can be found on page 625. It is our old classic, Adon Olam. Yes, music. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'et Nasa V'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra E'acharei Yichlot HaKol Levado Imloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yihye B'tifara Ve'hu Echad Ve'ein Sheni Lehamshir Lo Lehachbira Ve'li Reshit Ve'li Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ha'misra Ve'hu Eli Ve'chai Goali Ve'tzur Chevli Ve'et Zara Ve'hu Nisi Umanos Li Menat Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Ve'yahado Afkid Ruchi Ve'et Isham ve'ayira, ve'im ruchi giviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira. Indeed. Good song if ever I heard one. And now for Kiddush and Motzi, it's my honor to invite up David Chal. You can find the Kiddush on page 123.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, l'mikrae kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, ki vanu bacharta, Ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Do we have any kids under the age of bar bat mitzvah here? Yes? No? No? Okay. So we have revealed the challah, and we will go ahead and do motzi. If you need the words, they're on page 606, but we'll probably have finished it by the time you reach it.
Would you like?
Ready? Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Te'avon, and I wish I could wish everyone a total Shabbat of rest, but of course it is Blintz Brunch weekend, so I will see many of you here throughout the weekend. But still,